Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Cornelius Camp of CorneliusCamp.com, school counselor by day and real estate agent by night. Before we go any further, if you have not done so, make sure you become a subscriber. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It consists of any and everything real estate related. I talk about real estate resources to help you with a marketing campaign, with lead generation, to help you to promote your brand. I talk about real estate news. I talk about real estate markets, mostly focusing on Chicago because that's where I practice, but I also discuss things and trends that may be happening in other real estate markets as well. And then I talk about real estate experiences. My experience, I've been in the real estate business for about 4 years, but I also discuss and talk with on a daily basis of top producers in Chicago who have been in the business longer than I've probably been alive. So I can share some of their experiences that might have come up in conversation, and in turn it might help you with something that you may be going through, whether you're an agent and you come across a situation, or whether you're a buyer or someone looking to list their home, and this might be the first time that you're going through it. And these experiences might be able to help you out or navigate you in the right direction. So that's what my channel consists of. So make sure you become a subscriber and hit that subscribe button. All right. Today's video, I want to discuss for those sellers out there, those sellers who are looking for someone to list their property, whether it be you're downsizing, whether it be you're moving to another state, or whether it be you're upgrading, whatever the case may be. This might be the first time that you have put a property on the market. So before you go out there and you hire just any real estate agent, someone that you can Google and their face comes up and things like that, you definitely don't want to go with the first person you saw. If anything, if you're fresh off the bat, you really kind of want to talk with friends and get a referral. Those are always kind of the things that you can trust the most, because if they're your friends, you might be able to trust their judgment. And if this person that they're recommending has worked for them and everything turned out great and they have positive things, those are a lot more viable than an online review or something like that. Online reviews are great, but I've from being in social media and being in the internet where you can pay for reviews and stuff like that. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to reviews online. So that's the first thing that you want to do. You want to, get referrals from family members and friends and so forth. But at the same time, you do want to, take into consideration those people that you might find online. But regardless, I suggest that you go with at least three agents that you want to interview. At least three. You definitely want to talk with these individuals. They're going to be working for you. So you want to sit them down, whether it be at your house so that they can see the place, or whether it be at a coffee shop. But you want to sit them down, you want to talk to them, and you want to make sure that they answer these 5 things that I'm about to give to you, because these are very important and they can kind of give you an overall picture of what it's going to be like to work with this person to help sell your home. This is going to be a big step for you. This is something that's very, very important. So in turn, you should be wanting to talk with somebody who's going to treat your home as if it were their home. All right. So first thing that you want to do is you want to discuss the marketing plan that they have in place or that they foresee using for your particular property. Marketing is so critical, not only in real estate but in business in general. You can only put one sign in front of your home. You can have so many open houses, and you can only cover so much ground or so much of a radius when you have just signs that you have to place. You have to carry those signs around. You have to pick them up. You have to put marketing materials on them. You have to do all of these things, and it's so much easier to get the word out there through flyers, through internet, through social media, things like that. So you want to talk to them about their marketing plan that they have for you. Are they going to create a pamphlet for your property, a listing sheet, a listing flyer, a listing brochure? Are they going to create these things? What's the database that they have in order to reach or in order to pass out the brochures? What about their online presence? Are they going to be able to market your property on websites such as Zillow and Trulia, and maybe even Realtor.com or things like that? What's the plan that they have in order to make sure that the mass population knows that, hey, I have my house on sale. I want you to purchase it. Make me an offer. Come see it. Come check it out. I guarantee that you're gonna like it. What's the marketing plan behind it? So that's the first and foremost thing that you want to discuss with them. The second thing that you want to talk about, I kind of mentioned it previously. You want to discuss the social media presence. Nowadays, whatever business that you have, especially in real estate, social media is a very, very big component in your business, especially when it comes to marketing houses, whether you're buying or selling. You want someone who knows what they're doing with social media. You want someone who is going to get creative with the posts in order to market your particular listing. You want someone that has a large following. You want someone that has a faithful following. You want someone who takes the social media aspect of their business very, very serious. You're not really wanting to have a real estate agent who their social media page really doesn't consist of anything but trips, selfies, pictures of food night, and crazy memes, and outlandish videos, or kind of off the wall type comments, and just kind of things like that. You want someone who has a professional page. When it comes to Facebook, make sure that they have a business page and so forth. When it comes to LinkedIn, make sure that they have a lot of followers and make sure that they post a lot. Even using the Instagram account. When they come to your house and they take the photos for the listing up on the MLS, make sure that some of those photos that they can use for Instagram, things like that. You want someone who understands social media and who has a great social media presence. The third thing is that you want to see if this person either has a team or they are part of a team. And the reason why I say that that's kind of critical is because a lot of people, and not to say that you can't sell a house if you just work by yourself, but I feel like you might be a little bit more efficient if you have multiple people that you can work with. And I know that from experience just because I'm on one of the top producing teams here in Chicago. And the way we work things is that we'll go to a listing presentation and our team lead will be there. And most of the time, he usually has a co-lister with her. And what ends up happening is that we talk to that, seller, and we make them understand that your main point of contact will be us too. But if for whatever reason, one of us two cannot do an open house that weekend, or we might be out of town, or we might not be able to make a showing, we want that person, the seller, to understand that just because we might not be able to do a particular showing, we've got 12 other people on our team that we can call up and say, hey, are you busy right now? Can you go and show this place at 123 North Dearborn? Or what are you doing this weekend? You mind hosting an open house? With the opportunities of hosting an open house with the team, you can pretty much do one every single weekend and not have to worry about it. You can just rotate the different people. So that's the importance of having a team. Again, covering things like photos, covering things like inspections, covering things like appraisals, maybe even second showings, things of that nature. So you always want to be able to have people around you that you can rely on, that you can call, at a last minute when things might come up, and you can count on them to maybe help you out in a tight situation. The last thing you want to do is have a showing and somebody might be very much interested and you say, well, I can't make that showing tonight because I'm busy. What about tomorrow? And then they say, okay, but then they go to the other showings they have that particular night and they find a place and they submit an offer on another place and you just missed out on the offer for your listing. Okay, so that's why having a team is very, very important. The fourth thing is that you want to ask your real estate agent what's the average price range that he mostly sells his listings at. And the reason why that's important is because your listing, let's say is probably, worth, I don't know, 250,000 to $300,000. All right. And the real estate agent that you're interviewing right now, they mostly specialize in luxury condos or luxury homes or luxury residences. So they're, used to showing properties or listing properties that are, 850,000 and above, mostly in the million range. Well, that approach, your marketing approach to a luxury residence is going to be totally different than it is to a residence that's 250,000 to 300,000. Um, Things like that particular seller might be kind of picky about who do you show the listing to. You might have to prep the person that's selling it for 850,000. Hey, this might be on the market a lot longer than you might expect, because not everyone in the world has a 850,000 to just drop on a house. And then the person over here that's 250,000, last year I sold a place that was 350,000, sold it in 5 hours. That's really not probably going to happen with the property that's $850,000 or a million and so forth like that. So you just kind of have to watch how you navigate and how you approach those different types of properties. So that's why you want someone who is familiar with selling the price point where your property is going to be listed at. All right. And then the fifth thing and last final thing is that I actually should have said this one to be the first one, but you definitely want to get their commission rate. Commission rates are always negotiable, no matter what market you're in. Some markets, the average price is 6%. I think that's what it is in New York. I know here in Chicago it's 5%. I've heard down in Miami it's 6%. A couple of other places that are kind of the low markets, like I don't know, maybe a small town in Michigan, it might be 4.5%. Whatever the case is that you have to ask them your commission. So just because the average commission rate is 5% in your city, and that real estate agent that you're talking to might charge 6%, and he might stick with it, and that's him, and that's the way that you want to do it. But if he's going to charge you 6%, 5%, or 4%, you should find out why. Because even though you have interviewed somebody and they say, I'm going to charge you 4.5%, and then you interview someone else that say, I'm going to charge you 6%. Well, that 1.5% difference between the two might be worth it. So it's something to think about. But you definitely want to not just assume that just because the average is a certain percentage, that's what all real estate agents are going to charge, because that's definitely not the case. They're going to charge whatever they feel like their business is worth. And then when they tell you how much they're going to charge, make sure by the end of that conversation, you get a clear understanding as to why they're charging you that certain percentage. All right. So that's the video for today. Again, these are 5 things that you need to ask your real estate agent before you go and list your home with him or her. Number 1, I just mentioned it. Find out their commission. Okay, make sure you have a clear understanding of their commission, and make sure you understand why they charge what it is that they charge. Number 2, what's the marketing plan behind or that they're going to use in approaching the listing of your home? What are they going to do? How are they going to market it? What kind of ideas do they have? Do they plan on throwing a launch party? Whatever the case is, make sure you find out the marketing plan. Number 3, what is their social media presence, or how is their social media presence? You want them to have a positive presence. You want them to be taken serious on social media. You want them to have a large following so that they can broadcast it, so that they can post it on a weekly or bi-weekly, not bi-weekly, on a weekly basis or sometimes twice a week. You want to make sure that they understand the importance of social media, because in this day and age, social media is important in real estate and in any other business. All right. Number 4, do you have a team? Or do you work on the team? You want to find out if they do. That really shouldn't be much of a deal breaker. It's just kind of your preference. But it's always nice to know that if your real estate agent, can't make this showing, that they can have someone, or they can call someone that can back them up. That's always kind of a good feeling of reassurance and security. And then the final one is that you want to find out what is the average price point that that real estate agent sells most of their homes at. You want to make sure that it's comparable to kind of what your price, what your property is worth, because of the different dynamics that are involved versus selling a home for $250,000 versus selling a home for $1.5 million. All right. So those are the 5 things. Like I mentioned earlier, if you have not done so already, make sure you become a subscriber. Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this situation. And if you like this video, make sure you go ahead and share it. Like it and share it with your friends. Maybe you can send that to them. If you know someone who is actually thinking about listing their home, you can send them this video, and that can probably help them out a little bit. All right. If you need to get in contact with me, you can always reach me through social media. My contacts are in the description box below. And like always, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. You guys have a great night. Be safe, and we will talk to you later.